It's all off the movies are right there. If you want to come and see us in our photo, come do it now while we're here. Stand as one, guys.
Listen, guys, I just want to put it across that everybody here should know that it's a fundamental human right to state our freedom of assembly, our freedom of speech, and our freedom of thought. Welcome to the Lightning Games. Let's get this show going.
Right, can we all get into these small groups, please? Because I want this to go as peacefully as possible. So can we all spread out? I don't want to give anyone the opportunity to throw out fines. Just before we start, come on, into the groups, please. Please work with us. We are in an economic emergency. Right now, our government's policies are killing this country. Not because of the virus, but because of their reckless reaction to it. The precedence of life goes beyond the management of this virus, largely a non-fatal virus. They plunge the country into poverty and deprivation, killing and suffocating all small business. They are inflicting physical and mental damage to every single person alive today. We can't do this forever. This virus is not extraordinarily dangerous. There are 68 million people in the UK. For the under 70s, there's a 0.05% death rate. Death rate from the flu is higher. Sorry.
You.
Thank you. In January 2018, those 64,000 people died of flu. The average death rate for this virus is over the age of 80 with 2 or more comorbidities. You all know that the PCR test is not fit for purpose. We test this using a fraudulent method, which is a witch hunt for cases. We all also know, and Boris Johnson also knows, that this method has a 93% inaccuracy. This stops when we all say no. We have amazing speakers here today. Liam Mulholland is going to kick it off. Where's Liam? Yep, let's go. Thank you.
Right, I'm going to start off with a bit of good news. Everybody, put your hands together for our 6-time world champion, Johnny Ray. He's one of us. Yeah. It's great to see so many people here after we informed you that there might be fines issued. You know, the chief police officer here is called Christian, and he was talking to us at the start, and he said he doesn't mind, he personally didn't mind if we stayed in clusters of no more than 15 2 meters apart. So could you try and do that now, please? No more than 15 2 meters apart. He is presently talking to his superior, who overruled him. So we're hoping he's going to come back with good news for us. The last thing we want is people to incur fines. But it's great to see so many people here. There's a lot of good speakers coming after me, far more knowledgeable than I am. And the sun is shining, we're getting some vitamin D. The virus is not going to go away. We don't know who released the virus, we all have different theories. So I'm just going to tell each and every one of you, you can protect yourself. Go to a good health food store, get vitamin D3, 5,000 international units, 1,000 milligram vitamin C, and 50 milligram of zinc every day. That will protect you. That is your insurance policy. That's all you can do. At the moment, there's nothing we can do against them pricks up there in that big white building. Once the House choice from Fermanagh. The other is a Provo from Coal Island. And the third one is a farmer from Ballymena. What do they know about health? Nothing. Right. So listen, we are preaching to the converted here, and I'm not going to bore you with all sorts of statistics. You all know them. The very fact that you're here, your presence, your physical presence says it all. Yeah? So I'm going to finish up. There's a lot of speakers coming behind me. I think we may get away with this. I'm hoping Christian will not enforce it. If we behave peacefully and get this over pretty quick and get home and disperse, hopefully Christian will not enforce the rule.
Tell Christian to be a Christian.
Next speaker is a wonderful, wonderful lady from Derry, London Derry, Dr. Anne McCluskey. Remember, no more than 2 meters apart.
Hello Belfast, hello lovely people. I'm delighted to see so many gathered here today to show that we're concerned, and as other people have said, this is not about any one of us, this is about our shared humanity. I came in, I was working in the GP out of hours last night, and I came in from work and I sat down to try and write a speech, and my head was so full of facts and figures, and I just gave up. So I'm going to wing it, and we'll see where it takes us. I just a few very brief words about myself. I worked in Belfast here in Children's Hospital, and I started training as a paediatrician way back in the 80s. And then I decided that maybe hospital medicine wasn't for me, and I wanted to create my own paediatric problems. So I went back to my native Derry, and I've lived there since. And I've worked as a GP in a place called Chantallo Health Centre. And Derry and Sudan District Council's own website shows that Chantallo is one of the most socioeconomically deprived areas in the entire of these islands. And there's up to 60% child poverty overall. So, as a doctor, it's such a privileged place to be, to help people through their lives and to be there with them. And I talk to people, I cry with them, I laugh with them, I hug them. To me, that human aspect of medicine is one of the most valuable parts of it. So at the beginning of this paneling, the first thing that went, in a way, was that where human beings were not, people who were ill, who were suffering, who were frightened, who needed medical help, were treated not with the human dignity that they deserve to be afforded, but as biohazards, as some sort of contaminant. And for me, the fact that laws were introduced around to change death certification, and the way that all this was ramped up in the media, immediately raised alarm bells. And I've been writing about this since early April. We know that the care home residents, 25,000 people were pushed from hospitals where they were getting care, where they were getting treatment, where they were getting help to prolong their lives and to live with dignity. They were pushed into the care home sector. And although people in the care home centre make only 3% of our population, they were almost 30% of the fatalities from this viral disease. And that again, it's barbarity. It's there's something very strange going on. Now, here we are in October. We still have a health service, and as I say, over the 40 odd years that I've worked in the NHS, I've seen it privatised, sold off, sliced, decimated. We have half of the beds that we had way back in the 80s. And the health service is always in crisis. I mean, if any of you remember the flu, 17-18 flu epidemic, where people were lying in corridors and in beds, the NHS at the moment has not been under any strain whatsoever. And even in April, there just wasn't a problem. We're being told now that, I mean, the acute care beds are only at 81% capacity. That has never happened before at the end of October. You know, meantime, people, we know that the mental health, that undiagnosed cancers, where there's been no screening for breast, cervical, bowel cancer, no diagnostics. And you know, in the British Medical Journal as early as June, they were talking about 2 out of 3 of the excess deaths were actually not due to COVID, but due to other factors which are poorly understood, but which are likely to include people not being able to access help and people being too frightened to go and see about their chest pain or their unilateral weakness, which was a stroke, and that people were dying at home out of sheer terror. And this all-pervasive fear is still being ramped up by this the test, which tells absolutely nothing. So I'm going to just take a very small moment to talk about the PCR test. Now, as you know, the PCR test is now, there's tens of thousands of them being done every day. Boris Johnson plans to spend, wait for this, £100 billion on a test when the NHS total budget last year was £130 billion. This man is criminally insane. The man who invented the polymerase chain reaction test, a man called Karasmoulis, who had the bad manners to die last year, so he can't defend his test, he did say that it was not a diagnostic test, that it had, you could make something out of nothing. They're multiplying and multiplying tiny remnants of old virus, an RNA sequence, and ramping it up, so they're ramping it up to 45 times multiplication. If you take that to 60, 100% of these tests will be positive. They tell nothing about infectivity, and they are being used simply as a tool to promulgate fear and terror. The test has 99.2% specificity, which sounds really good. So that means that 0.8% are false positives. They are positive in people who do not have the disease. But in the phase 2, the community testing, where the levels of real infection are so low, then this becomes so that somewhere between 50% and 90% of these tests are false positives. So that all of this fear and terror is based upon a lie. Now, I don't know if our political leaders and our medical media darlings understand this. I suspect they do. And if they do, God forgive them. But you know, up there they're probably not capable of these simple sums. So for those of you who get a positive test, insist, you know, obviously we'd be trying not to go there, but insist upon a repeat, and it's overwhelmingly likely to be negative, before you close up yourself, close up your family, close up your household, close up your businesses.
Where's the validation?
There ain't none. So I went out yesterday in Derry and walked around the city centre, and it would have taken tears from a stone. Every head down, blind terror in people's eyes, masked up, walking, jumping out of one another's way. It's absolutely bizarre that a government can get humans who should be hugging and, you know, at this time of the year in Derry, we do Halloween like nowhere else in the world. The town should have been jiving with children out getting their costumes ready, out, you know, getting ready for this big celebration. Do you know what they're getting? A virtual Halloween. What the hell is that? They're going to be told to watch a computer screen and see fireworks. Worse, they cannot have their cousins, their friends, their grandparents. Everything that makes life worth living has been taken from us. And as long as we allow them to do it, they will continue to do it. here's touched on the economic consequences of this, so I'm not going to go there. As you may be aware, there are now tens of thousands of scientists, doctors, epidemiologists, statisticians, data analysts who are wakening up to this lie across the world. You may be aware that of the Great Barrington Declaration. I'm sure very many of you have signed it. I know I was proud to do so. And I just wanted to read to you Dr. Sunitra Gupta, who is an Oxford epidemiologist, her response to Twat Hancock's dismissal of the Great Barrington Declaration. And what she said is, it is important to bear in mind that the attainment of the herd immunity threshold does not lead to disease eradication. Instead, it corresponds to an equilibrium state in which the infection lingers at low levels in the community. This is the situation we tolerate for most infectious disease. For example, flu, which kills 650,000 people every year globally. So this virus isn't going to go away. What we need to do is shield the vulnerable, and the rest of us need to get on with our lives. We need to open the NHS, we need to open our streets, we need to open our doors, we need to take back our humanity, we need to celebrate the lives of the people we love, we need to look after our children, we need to hug people and go back to the dirty, smelly, infectious, old normal that we all loved. Thank you.
Guys, just be made aware there, there's tickets being handed out. Here a minute. Here 2 seconds, son. See if the police officers out there that are handing out tickets. Take a look here. That's my son. That's why I'm standing here. You have kids as well. We fight for you kids.
How's it going again, Belfast? It's so great to see you all here. I'm trying so hard to keep it together today because I'm so overwhelmed. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for standing here as one. I just want to say to these human beings who are here today as police officers, we're all here, including them, even the people who buy to the narrative and ourselves. We're all scared because we know we've been told lies and we all want the truth. Look, usually I try to be a little bit more upbeat, but today I'm going to be speaking about something a little bit more close to my heart, and that's mental health. What I see happening today is a full-blown psychological and spiritual warfare. Our minds has been taken over by media. Our kids' mind has been taken over by technology. People aren't raising their kids anymore. Technology's raising them. We're becoming into a different species, and it's up to us to start to guide us back on the right track. Zombies! Zombies, yes, exactly, we're zombies. Now, at the start of the last pandemic, I received a phone call 3 weeks into it, and it was from a little company called Care and Crisis in Lurgan, which was a charity-run mental health counselling service. And what they rang me to say was, look Chris, I'm doing a final follow-up call, and I hope everything's well and we're not opening the doors. You know, that says a lot, that says a lot. All the companies that's being shut down at the minute, I see a big connection with mental health. Gyms, for a start. Now, there was a journalist a couple of months ago who started to speak out about an MMA coach who had been doing videos. I don't know if any of you know who I'm on about, but he's a very, very popular guy. And he was like, oh, so MMA coach talking out in this. Let me tell you something. I've been involved with fitness most of my life, and see these coaches, they're far, far more qualified on physical and mental health than a lot of these doctors. Well,
it's certainly proven it, because any of these regulations are not for our mental health. This is what I see. This is to completely beat us into the ground. And it's working in one way, but as I said earlier, I feel a great awakening happening. And so do you guys too. I can feel it. I can feel it. Not too long after I got that phone call, I was looking on Facebook, and a good friend of mine had been making cries. He had more or less locked his dad into the hospital, who tested negative for the test, who had a heart attack. He was locked into the hospital. His family was not allowed in. They were given a phone call each, and he had to wait his turn. Do you know what the last words was? Okay, that's it, over, goodbye. Come on, like, you know, what kind of way is that to finish off a phone call with your loved one? It's not. And this guy here has been suffering extreme mental health issues from it, and rightly so, because that's what's planned. Of course it's planned. Why are you allowed to walk into Tesco's, handle beans, throw them back up amongst hundreds of people, but you can't go in to a ward to visit your own dad on his deathbed? Stuff like this really pisses me off, and I'm sorry, I'm really trying to hold this in. I'm trying to hold it in. Pre-existing mental health problems is not going ahead. It never did. I've actually been banging on the GP's door for 15 years. It took me to pay money out of my own pocket at the start of this year and go private before they even started to... When I got the diagnosis, then they started to look at... No, I got the phone call the other day. They finally accepted it, but it took 15 years. But again, a doctor will always be willing to prescribe you an antidepressant, and the truth of the matter is a lot of these people aren't depressed. There's underlying conditions that has went ignored and untreated, and they're giving people who, yes, they're depressed, but they're depressed because of an underlying condition not being taken care of. And anybody I know who's ever been taking antidepressants, 2-3 months in, they start to feel 10 times worse. Their mind becomes unstable.
2 meters. 2 meters. 2 meters.
Marcos, hold it together.
2 meters. 2 meters. 2 meters.
Conductor says right.
2 meters.
Says right, guys. You're not breaking the law. Nobody here today is breaking the law. As we have said.
Race, guys. Nobody race.
Freedom! 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 We do not consent! We do not consent!
Freedom! Freedom!
Freedom! Freedom! Freedom! Freedom! Freedom! Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
Oh, Claire, stay there, Claire, stay there. Claire, stay there. 2 meters, Claire, stay there. Stay there. 2 meters, 2 meters.
At its finest, guys.
2 meters. 2 meters.
Yeah, don't be scared.
2 meters.
Don't be scared, guys. Don't go in.
2 meters.
2
meters. 2 meters.
Committing a crime.
Stand back. 2 meters. 2 meters.
Trying to disrupt anything. You are here to exercise your right to assembly, your freedom of speech, and freedom of thought. This is why we're here,
Claire.
guys. Take the fines. We'll set up a GoFundMe. Between us, we're all prepared. We'll stand here together. We stand as one, and we pay as one.
Have you
Let
children?
us use many things out as we want.
Have you children? I've asked you to stand back. Stand back.
Yeah.
Have you children?
2 meters.
Have you children?
This is the people that swear to protect you, guys.
Have you children?
There's a full plate there, so I'm being targeted. No, listen to me. You listen to me. I've done 5 years in the services over here. Right? Yeah. So, I didn't do it for you guys to get on like this. I
I've done the job that you are scared to do. I've done the job that you guys are scared to do. For you to stand up and do like faces like this. Listen, Oscar says no, there's nothing.
David McCollum's up next. Ignore them. Please ignore the police. Ignore the police. They're not worth it. Ignore them. Don't even speak to them. Please ignore the police. They want this to end. And we are not going to allow this to end today because we know we are doing the right thing.
6 police officers. 6 police officers running around. That's all it wasn't. You 2 meters.
I don't say any social distancing.
2 meters! 2 meters!
We're going to carry on here. Everybody walk. Everybody head this way. David McCollum is up first.
2 meters!
Protest, guys. Who's being aggressive? Guys, come on. There's 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 1.
Right, everybody. Well, Granny up next, and Granny is speaking to you as a mummy. So please ignore the police and listen to the mummy because the police aren't worth it. Let's head over this way a wee bit and just forget about them. You're playing into their hands.
Hi everybody, if everybody can just calm down and quiet. I've come here today to speak from a parent's point of view. I really appreciate everybody listening to what I've got to say here. I'm here today as an individual. I have no political affiliation, no agenda, just an ordinary person voicing my concerns. I don't wear a white coat, I don't have letters after my name. I have a much more important job. I am a parent. I am concerned. I'm concerned for our children. They have lost nearly 6 months of education, and who knows where this current break will end. The changes our children have recently had to endure are wrong on every level. No hugging, no close interaction with their friends, wearing masks, excessive hand sanitation, kids in bubbles, kids in circles, no St. Patrick's Day, no 12th of July celebrations, no Easter, no Halloween, and it's pretty evident the plans they have in store for Christmas. No singing happy birthday in schools, but I do know there are some teachers out there that have completely ignored this proposal and went on ahead and sang happy birthday to their children. So dates given to the parents.
Stay 2 meters apart.
There's been several cases in the Republic of Ireland where unvaccinated children have been vaccinated at school despite parents' requests. There was a case more local to myself where a parent became aware that her child received the flu spray despite putting it in writing. She did not get permission. When her daughter one day pointed the poster on the wall in the waiting room of the doctor's surgery and said, "Look, Mummy, that's what I got in school." Children have no idea what they're getting, and they're being guided by medical professionals without parental consent. And somehow this is considered legal. Exactly.
No, that's not fair.
I can remember waking up one morning and reading about how it was discovered that the PCR test that was being used was not fit for purpose and not designed. Can we pause you just for 1 second? We'll get you back on again.
Folks, we have a very good friend here with us. He's an ex-police officer and he wants to say a few words. Anthony? Hello everybody. My name is Thomas Anthony Cannon. I'm also known as Anthony and also known as Bill, depending on who you are. For 10 years I've stood in a police officer's uniform. So I probably know from behind these guys' masks who some of them are. What I'm asking everyone to do is I'm asking everyone to remain calm. Right, everyone remain calm.
Now, this has to be balanced by the fact that the police have got a job to do. They're being told by the bosses on the way down what they have to do. And they're between a rock and a hard place because it's their job. It's their job, hold on. It's their job to keep the peace and to do what they're being told. And that comes from Stormont. But the legislation is right the way down to the boots on the ground. And these guys are the people that are coming between the people and the government. Right, what they're doing is a very difficult job. But I'm asking for the police, and I stood in a uniform for 10 years. I'm asking them to exercise as much restraint as they can possibly do today. But the reason why many people are standing here is because we don't want the cure to be worse than the disease. But we believe that there will be more people dying, including the police's friends and their family and their grannies and everyone in their family. We've got vulnerable people in their families. We do want them dying. We want to use common sense measures. But there's 15,000 medical professionals have said that the lockdown isn't going to work and that more people are going to die as a result. Whenever the economy is shut down and people aren't going to work, food's not going to be transported. There's going to be food shortages because of this lockdown. It needs to be looked at. People need to have the right, the freedom to assemble, the freedom to stand up here and use their human rights to stand here and peacefully speak about what they want to speak about. Yeah, so people are losing their jobs, but what I'm going to say to you is I know how difficult it is for police to stand here and do it, and I support the police in doing a difficult job. But they have to also balance that they're not going to be too heavy-handed today and they're understanding what people are doing. Okay? So, no, they are. Listen, I know. So, I've made some notes on the way up today, and I want a chance to speak them here. So, I know what people want to shout a roar here. Please, if you're going to shout near to me, you're going to put me off here. Police have also, balanced with their job and the legislation and what their job is here today, they also have a social and a moral obligation to look at this subject because they go off duty and they also have a family whenever they get home. I remind police that they're not employees, that they're office holders. Police are independent office holders and they come together as a police service because it's so efficient. That's the reason for it. The police, the PSNI are standing here today and each one is an independent office holder and each police officer has to justify themselves if they're going to arrest someone, if they're going to caution anyone, and they can use restraint. If they believe that these laws are unlawful. Now I've never seen anything that has caused so much divide. Coronavirus doesn't make sense. All of the rules that's been brought in don't make sense. They told us not to wear masks at the start. And then science did a U-turn and now saying that masks don't work. So they're trying to do work. So everyone's saying that these masks work. So if masks work, it says on the masks that you have to have a clean shaven face. So they're saying that it's mandatory for all the men to shave. Because half the middle-aged women will have to shave too, or pluck a few hairs to get their masks work. We have to use... So, what I'm going to say is everything covered here today, there's 15,000 medical people have said that the Barrington Declaration, 15,000 medical professionals are putting their reputations on the line to say that this lockdown is not happening. Please, I'm asking the police officers not to arrest people. I'm asking people not to be compliant with the police, speak to them in a civil manner, don't give them any abuse. Please everyone calm down. This entire lockdown has been based on the one fact that everyone agrees with is that PCR tests are faulty. The whole justifications for this lockdown is based upon these faulty PCR tests. We need to have a public debate with the thousands and thousands of medical experts that say the lockdown doesn't work versus the small handful of secret people behind that the government are using to justify the lockdown. Science, there's only one science.
He's over there,
so we need to have all the people coming together to have a public debate to work out what the science is, because people are confused. People don't know what to do, they don't know what they think. And the bottom line is that the PSNI constables here, they're caught in the middle between having to do their jobs and keep the peace. Right, so what I'm going to say here is, right, there's been nothing but statistical manipulation of coronavirus from the start until now. And that statistical manipulation has been used to carry out this lockdown. We all want to be safe. The main thing that people can do is to get a strong immune system. Okay? And the government's not covering that, and the media is not covering that. The media is complicit. It's complicit in spreading so much disinformation. They're giving one side as much news media coverage as they want, and the other side are getting covered up and they're not allowed to speak. Right? So everybody has to sit and look after their own health. Vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc, and K2. Get out and get walking. Do what you're doing today. Go out and go walking, look after your health, start exercising. The vitamins that's for sale in Home and Barrett and Boots aren't worth it. They're not worth it at all. They're cheap muck. There's a government website called Codex Alimentarius. Now that's not conspiracy theory, that's a government website. And their entire aim is to reduce the content of vitamins to such a level that it's negligible and they're no good to you. So you're going to have to go and spend 30 quid on a bottle of vitamin C for it to do any good. And you have to balance that there, because you have to get your, instead of paying 30 quid on a Domino's pizza, go out and go walking and buy these vitamins and look after yourselves. Nature's best. Right, and I'm the expert here. I am no expert. I have no qualifications this whatsoever. And I would say most of the people here don't. But people need to understand that everyone's very passionate about this. People like Liam Mulholland. He was a recognised expert in his field up until he spoke out and said against what the government wants. And now he's been excommunicated and he's been vilified. It's people like him that need to come. Things that I want to say, all I'm asking for today is, I know how difficult it is for the police. I'm asking everybody to remain calm. Try and work with police. Spread out a wee bit so you're doing your social distancing. Try and make the police's job as easy as possible today. Take a wee step back. I mean, I don't even think there's any the social distancing. Right, guys, I'm going to actually ask Liam to step forward if Liam's going to speak. Liam, are you going to come and speak? Oh yeah. Come ahead here. So Liam is an expert. He has the qualifications. I'm just trying to diffuse something here, so I'm going to ask Liam if he wants to give us a chat for a few seconds. But please, everyone, remain calm and help the police to do their jobs. Spread out a wee bit. Can everybody just take a step back and spread out so that you're not breaching the social distancing? Okay? We're all out for a walk today and we happen to walk past somebody with a mic. So we're all standing here, exercising our human rights. Do as much as possible. Right, so I'm going to be putting out some videos myself, trying to explain this. It's under a lot of pressure here. I wasn't expecting to be handed the mic here at short notice. I've only put these notes together, but everybody keep calm and keep protesting.
Yeah, we're good.
Right, guys, no need for aggression. Folks, everybody, we've got this recorded. We're going home. That is assault. The day's over. Everybody go home. Let's go. Everybody home. Right? Let's go home, guys. It's not worth your health. Next Sunday. It's the people that are sworn to protect you and the ones that are attacking you. Take it home, guys. Don't rise. It's not worth it. Just go home.
I just want to say one thing, and I hope you all get home safely. This was peaceful until our police service stormed this. I am ashamed. I am ashamed of the police service of Northern Ireland. They make my stomach turn. I hope you go home, and God bless you for coming, and please pray hard that this town ends. Say the Lord's Prayer. Get her over.
Right, guys, keep calm, don't rise to them. Let's go home. We'll reorganise different ways. What an absolute disgrace. We came here peacefully to express our opinion, to be attacked by the people that are supposed to protect us. This could have been so much different. Go back to your cars. Thank you all for coming. Well, over the PSA.
People! Attention! People! Calm down! Everybody calm down!
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Fighting for them and their kids also, guys, and they attack us. They won't let us.
It doesn't matter, we're all spiritual. We're all spiritual. People need to calm down and sit down.
I'm going to try and get everybody to go. I want everybody to go home. Every Sunday, guys, we'll take a down here. We take the phone. They can't arrest us all. But you have to keep it quiet. Are they away? No, they're not. I'm trying to get everybody to go. You need to finish the message.
Here.
Hey guys, can you just take a wee step back there?
Here. The car is plus 3. We'll stay
Well, do you want to continue?
And if any of us get touched, just go down to the car. Claire's down at the car now.
I just want to do something.
I need to keep it on. I'm trying to get people to the comments down.
Cheers, lad.
Tag and share. Kill everybody. Hey, fella, we're getting attacked and civilized.
Peaceful demonstration, guys. This is what you get for coming out in peace and trying to speak your mind. Disgusting.
It's not parliamentary estate, so Schedule 22. It states that it doesn't apply. Yeah.
Guys, can you please give this woman a wee second and hear what she has to say?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just asking the question, is this not parliamentary estate? And for the Coronavirus Act, it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply.
So look, this is parliamentary estate. So for Coronavirus Act, it states in Schedule 22 that it doesn't apply. So can we just, yeah. But I appreciate it's a very difficult situation, okay? Look, can I just say, if we could, yes, let's just apply the guidelines. We're not here to cause trouble, okay? We aren't here to cause trouble, okay? I lost my mother in August of cancer, okay? You're 10 times more likely to die of cancer every day than you are of COVID, okay? You're 5 times more likely to die of dementia, okay? You're 4 times more likely to die of heart disease, okay? So just let's be clear, okay? Yes, this is a disease, this is a virus, there's no doubt about it, but we have to accept these facts. And the median age is 82 years of age, okay? So let's do the right thing. Let's look after the elderly. Let's look after the people who are at risk. And by the way, the lockdown is causing further risk by poor diet, lack of exercise, lack of vitamin D, okay? Lack of nutrition. Their obesity will be on the increase, which is the second cause of cancer. People are smoking more because of anxiety, okay, and drinking more. I'm just saying is, look, please put things into perspective, okay? So looking at the facts, it's very, 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 yeah, exactly, the economy as well. People losing their jobs. I met with a business this week and they have had to close. There are people on furlough.
I've lost my job.
When furlough stops, there'll be no tax going into the system. There's no funding for cancer research. The activities have stopped because of these restrictions, okay? Can we just say we're all human beings in this fight against a virus. This was inevitable to happen, by the way. These things happen. There are viruses throughout the years. Do you think of, thousands more exactly, but the restrictions are causing more deaths than the virus itself, okay? So, yeah, and I do understand the politicians, I can clearly see they're at odds between the economy and the health of the public. There's no doubt about it. There's a risk. But the median age is 82 years of age. That's a fact. Apart from people who are immunosuppressed, those with heart disease, respiratory disease as well. Yes, we know that. But let's please do it on the basis of risk assessment. We speak to the scientists. I'm not here to represent anybody. I'm here to represent myself and my family. I know in my own neighbourhood, we've lost three people due to cancer. Nobody through COVID. Okay, I had a couple next door. They lost their 36-year-old daughter because her cancer treatment had to stop. Her cancer treatment had to stop. She left a 2-year-old orphaned. Okay, let's put these things into perspective. And please, this also goes out to the police officers. And there's no doubt you're doing an incredible job today. There's no doubt. I had to take my mother out of hospital to care for at home. Our family had to bring her home because they were so put under pressure. Don't get me wrong, the NHS are fabulous. Doctors, nurses were fabulous. But they were so, focused on COVID to clear the wards, clear the hospitals because of COVID. Let's put this into perspective. The death rate's now 0.6%. That means 6 people out of 1,000 people that are infected potentially could die. But those, as I said, I repeat it again, median age 82.
That figure is high because of their criminal policy of herding the sick into care homes. Had they not done that, it would be even less.
Agreed, yeah. Okay, so what we're trying to do here today,
It's a criminal conspiracy.
what we're trying to do here today is to get the facts, get the truth. And yes, we would love to speak to Arlene Foster and Michelle O'Neill. We would love to, because I can clearly see they're at odds between the economy and protecting health, of the public. And there's no doubt about it, guys. We have to protect the public. There's no doubt about it. But let's do it. Let's answer the facts. Let's analyse the facts. Let's do a full risk assessment and apply the action accordingly. But please, yes, and I would agree. Keep calm. Police officers, you're doing a brilliant job. There's no doubt about it. But please keep calm. Let's do this the right way.
Right, guys, see now that we've got it nice and calm here, we're going to wrap it up for now. Within the next couple of weeks, what we're going to do, if you want to take part, is get it local with these cunts can't come near us. So it'll be for 10 minutes, whatever it is. Save our freedoms page and a future for our children. Upload your pictures and your videos onto these platforms and we'll spread the word for you. What is it, Lana, about 2-3 weeks? Within 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be back here, we'll come back stronger. They can't do none. Just keep fighting, guys.
Safe home, everybody, and thank you so much for coming.
Oh, excuse me. What's your badge number? 25336.
Women with battles for no reason. It's not right, sir. 249.
Thank you.